Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Philippa, and I'm excited that you decided to stop by. I'm excited that you're watching this video. So good evening. That's my time here. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. So today it is not another episode of Music and Muse. Today I just want to initially this was supposed to be a long post on Facebook where I shared the journey to EP. For those of you that don't know, I had released an EP some days ago, Wednesday, 8th of March. Today is Monday, 13th. I think so. So I wanted to do a long post to just share the testimony, how it was, the journey, and everything. But then a lot of other things happened that made it impossible for me to put everything in one post. And so I'm doing a video to just share this testimony and hope that it's going to be an encouragement to someone, whatever work they're doing, whatever stage, whatever you're trusting God for. So that's the first reason. Second reason why I'm doing this is because I'm bored. Yes, I got discharged from the hospital like 2 days ago, and I've been looking for work to do. I'm finishing a course online. I'm doing everything to be active while not active, like to be doing stuff, to just be moving. And this is one of those things that I'm doing to just keep myself moving. For those of you that know me personally, I am always on the move. So, excuse me, the surgery just had kind of slowed me down, and I'm trying to reconfigure. So yesterday I was looking for super glue and my husband was like, "What do you have to do with it?" I said, "I want to fit my nose." Said, "I pray you don't find it." Because like I was just it was all part of looking for stuff to do while not doing anything. So today is just I want to share the testimony, like I said, of what this season has been like, and from up to the EP, then just this last week. So last year, I perceived that the Lord would have me put out an EP, and so I began to prepare the songs, the producer I was going to work with, and also I thought it was going to be like something towards the end of the year, like December, but then a lot of things, and then it didn't happen. So I perceived the Lord was going to have it the 8th of March 2023. Well, I spoke with my spiritual father, my pastor, about it, and he said I told him the date, and he was asking me why, what was slowing me down. Was it the faith for financing the project and all? I was just like a lot of things. So he said, no, go on, do it, put it out. That he perceived that 8th of March was actually a deadline for the project. Like he felt that it was long overdue, which was actually true. That this project was long overdue, and 8th of March was kind of like a marker. So I was wondering, God, why 8th March? 8th of March is not a weekend. Because ordinarily, if I would put out an EP, I would do it around the weekend where I felt that everybody was home, and then people would possibly listen to the music. Not just people, myself, because I work in 9 to 5, and to put out an EP on a Wednesday would mean that I was going to be at work, I was going to be able to do all the posting and everything. And then that Wednesday happened to be the second Wednesday of the month, which is when we have our God Girls prayers at 6. So possibly I'll have a young wives meeting like 8:30 till like 10. So it's like Wednesday, that Wednesday is supposed to be a very busy day. So I didn't see how I was going to do all the postings and everything. But then well, there's scheduling of posts, right? So I just figured, well, if God is saying 8th of March, then 8th of March it is. So I began to do publicity and tell everybody, yes, I have an EP out, 8th of March. You see all of those things I was posting at that time. Probably hadn't even recorded the first song. I was just doing it to just kind of put myself on going back. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to trust God, and you have to go all the way because it's 8th of March. You have said it, God has said it, you have said it, you have agreed, and you're going to do it. And so began to put 1 and 2 there, trying to do all that we could in our power, myself and my husband. And then still trusting that the Lord has spoken the word and the Lord is going to perfect it. So I got a call one night. I was home, and it was one of my pastors from when I was in Abuja about 6 7 years ago, and he called and he was I missed the first call because it was a number that I didn't have on my phone. I thought it was one of those work calls because I have a kind of work that I do that we deal with agents and we call a lot. We don't care about the time. You can call at any moment. So I thought it was and I didn't have energy that night, so I didn't pick the call. But when the person called again, I just started to pick. And when I picked, he said it was his pastor and all. And I was like, oh, good to hear from you, sir. It's been ages. So he was asking, how have you been? What's been happening with you? He didn't even know I was married and that I had a child and all of that. So it was just a bit of catching up. And I was like, what are you doing about me? Because I said, I'm still on it. I'm pushing God. Is granting us the grace. And he asked about, are you working on any project at the moment? I said, yes, I'm working on an EP. It was like I was just strolling down the street. I was listening to your song, nothing, and it really blessed me. And I just proceeded to call and to ask you if you're working on anything. And I said, yes, I have an EP coming. So he was like, okay, what's the budget for the EP? I said, okay. I told him the budget, and he said, okay, what's is that the total budget? He said, well, there's going to be the promo, a bit of promo, there's the photo shoot, there's the art that we need to make. That is just the total budget for the recordings. And he said, okay, what's the total budget? I said, well, I don't know. I'm not able to say right now. Well, I forgot to tell you the part that as at that last year, God had asked me to write out the budget. Like every producer is going to work with on each track, write the budget for each song, and um, write the budget for everything. Like I wrote down to photography, down to art. I just projected everything, so I had a full budget. But it skipped my mind at that moment. I was like, well, I'm trying to remember. He just said, give me an average, not an average, an estimate. So I did, and then it was like, send your account details. So well, I just, for me at that moment, it was about the obedience, right? That at the moment that God was saying, do this EP, you had no idea how the funding was going to come. And one more, in this EP season, I had to global it for everybody that has done any work, any single EP album. It's crazy. It is a very, very, very crazy ride. So for the obedience of just saying, okay, God is saying do this, and you move by the word of the Lord, even when you can't see where the sources are, the funds are going to come from, even when you can't see how everything is going to come together, what's going to happen in the end, but you just went. And then seeing that God, I've seen God as a provider, as in a crazy believer of God coming through, especially finances are usually used for my worries or for my concern, but I have never seen this happen literally to me, that someone will come in and be like, God put your name in my heart for this particular project. It was just mind blowing for me, and I just felt like God really wanted to make a statement to me about that EP. And so, well, that's how the funding came for the EP, and we continued the journey. A lot of things. If you have a 9 to 5, you have a family. When you're available, the producer is not available. When the producer is available, you have to be at work. When it was just crazy getting everybody to be, when the background vocal is available, a lot of stuff. But then everything came together. We recorded the songs, and then we put them up and began to put everything together. So the release date was set for 8th of March, like I told you earlier, 2023, and like a few days, 3 4 days before the EP, I started having things consistent, and then the Tuesday night into that Wednesday morning, I couldn't sleep all through the night. I was awake because of the pain. So I just, to distract myself, I just set up the songs on all the platforms. I set them up, scheduled them because I got them late. In fact, I kept trying to move the release dates. We had, as at Saturday before the Wednesday of the release, we had not even finished recording. As at Monday, we were still recording guitars and all. So it was just impossible that everything would be ready by Wednesday, especially with the fact that when you upload music to digital platforms, it takes a while before they go live, like some 2 weeks. So I just felt that, okay, this was going to be an impossible thing to happen. But then went ahead and just scheduled the release for 6 p.m. Well, the one that I could control, which was Audio Mark, was what I just said, for 6 p.m. Wednesday evening. And around like I think 2 3 a.m. I was able to finally fall asleep. By morning we just said, okay, we got dressed, I had some relief, we were packed and ready to go to work. And then we decided to pass by the hospital and do a check to just know what's causing the pain, maybe get some medication. And because the pain had been an ongoing stuff, it came like that. And I've always had, because I had done some tests before and I was giving pain relief. So I don't want to miss out on what I'm trying to say. I'll just get distracted because I'm trying to tell you over 1 year happenings in some minutes of video. So well, we got to the hospital, they did all the tests and then nothing, and they sent to do the scan. And then the first doctor did the scan and he said, well, uh, I'm not so sure what I'm seeing. Just hold on for my senior to come and then do this. And myself and my husband were just there waiting. And then doctor came, he did the test, he did all the scan, check. And he was like, this is an emergency and we need to go in for surgery. And I began to cry because I was crying, like, to just be packed and ready for work and to get this kind of news all of a sudden dumped on me that you're going to go in for surgery. I had not imagined in the next 100 years of my life that anything will happen that will require me having any surgery whatsoever. I began to cry because I was like, no, this was not the plan. This was not the plan. In fact, if I want to tell you my plan now, what I had planned to do this year, how I had planned my life out, by the end of this year, I'm going to have my second baby, and also this was like a scattering of all of my plans. So I said, God, no. He said, well, it's an emergency, it has to be done, and it has to be done now. So he set me up and said, you're going to have surgery at 6 p.m. It was kind of funny because I scheduled all of my release for 6 p.m. that day. And I was like, so, but then the second part was that I said, okay, since I had already scheduled all this for 6 p.m. and they're saying my surgery is 6 p.m. and God was assisting me. Maybe God was already saying that today I'm going to die, so he wanted me to make this music for the world as something that is going to be my devil's bastard. So well, I just began to prepare. We prayed, and my husband was just there encouraging, like, okay, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be okay. We got set, called a family, and then around that evening time, I went in. I don't want to go into the details of what happened during the surgery, also, which was another deliverance, but then, for me, what I just came out of this is that I saw that God is intentional, because when I began to connect all the dots of all that God had to set in place before the surgery, even the fact that someone came and just to the hospital to visit, and he just said, "Oh, thank God that you even felt the pain, the sign that something was wrong, because well, something can be wrong in your system and you do not know." So he said, thank God for the pain. Thank God for the signal. So I began to just look at how very intentional and deliberate God was about the whole process that even led to the surgery. And God is amazing. God is amazing. The fact that I had just weaned my child like 2 weeks before. Imagine going through the weaning process, because I literally cannot be breastfeeding a child where just had surgery, the whole movement and all. I just felt like God went ahead to make everything, settle everything that needed to be settled before that surgery. And then when it came to the bills were just overwhelming. Well, let's watch God. And we began to think of the source of how we could come up. And because the doctor is a friend, he had told us that, well, don't worry about the bills, it's an emergency. I know this is unplanned. We'll do it, and then whenever you're able to afford it, you just find a way to pay. But before we left the hospital, we had cleared everything. We had cleared everything. God provided, God came through from the sources that we did not even imagine. So guys, like, I feel like I'm not really doing justice to how I feel about this whole betrayal, but it is the fact that God is very deliberate. God is very deliberate. Every detail matters to him. He does not skip one bit. He does not skip one bit of any detail of your life. He just, as a sheep in his fold, just know that every part of your life is taken care of. Like I said in one of my videos when I was talking about why do we trust God. I was talking about how that we cannot even see the next 1 second. I cannot even see if I'm going to finish this video, or if I'm going to post it, or if you're going to watch it, or who's going to comment. But God has worked the entire length of his word. So like he knows it all. So you can trust God. You can trust God with the ill health. You can trust God with the finances. You can trust God. You can trust his timing. You can trust that he has it all figured out. So also this video is to say thank you to everyone that just came through in this season. I think there was no time that we were just left alone. People were trooping in and out from the hospital to our house. We just had consistent love. People were calling, people were just sending prayer our way, and this has been a very full season. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for praying. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for sharing. And that is Adira knocking. And thank you guys for just being there. And again, don't forget that God has every detail of your life. Because God has every detail of your life. I am healed and hearty, and I am recovering. I am fine, and you will too. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you have a testimony that will encourage someone, I would ask that you please just type it in the comments and share. Reading some of these things, you do not know how far they go to encourage people. That's our God is able. Our God is able. Thank you all, and I'm looking forward to going back to the episodes of music and news, and I'm sure that you're going to get this, because I just kept thinking of all the things that were going through my mind at that moment where I was on the surgery bed, just thinking about what will matter if I pass on right now. Because I was going in there and the devil was telling me, you know how your sister went into the same operation room and did not come back. I think okay for you, this is bye bye. So when I was just on that bed, I kept thinking, if I die now, which of these will count? Like which part of my life is going to still count in this end? This was the end. What would count? And I began to think of a lot, God girls, my family, musical news, everything that was instruction. I felt to count for all these other things that I was doing in my effort and my strength and doing just for all of this will not count. And so I'm back, and I just wish that all of those thoughts will stay with me and help me that I live in that urgency that I felt in that moment of the surgery. So thank you again for what I had said goodbye, and I got into talking about a lot of other things, because there's a lot that I'm trying to say, not say on this video. Thank you everyone for watching. God bless you, and see you on episodes of Music and News. Bye.